Hello, I am your trainer Maurice Monene. In this session, we are going to discuss basic files and folder operations in CMD. That is, create, copy, move, and delete. So let us go straight to using the CMD. There are many ways that you can launch a CMD. You can just come to the search area, and then you can type the CMD. And here you can right click maybe to open it as an administrator, as a different user, open file location, pin to start or do. For us, we are interested with the starting, so we can just learn as an administrator. And there we have our CMD. That is, we have our CMD. And this, remember the difference between the CMD and the other which is running on our background behind the CMD is that in this we need to manipulate the operating system or any program usually by the textual typing. But in the cases of the graphical user interface or the GUI, we just need, maybe you can cancel, we just need to come to any folder here, either double click on it or maybe right click. You can either take any command here. You can either copy, delete, or do anything by right clicking, or else maybe you can either maybe double click it and there you can open it. So also the same case, you can go to the start key, that is the Windows start key, click on it, and here you have the pop-up of all the application recently used. You can also go through down to see more, and remember you can click on all programs and see all these programs. Remember, this program can be executed by click. Maybe you can click any of the program to start it, or else you can maybe either right click, maybe if we click it pop-ups other subfolder inside it. So that is what you can maybe do. You can either click on it to execute anything, but unlike now in CMD where you have to work purely with typing the command in the command line. So let us go back to our CMD. If there is anything that you need to know from this, you can either maybe right click, open it. Maybe if you want to see what is contained inside, you right click it. Maybe you can also double click it, and when you double click it, here there are directories which are contained in that. If it is a desktop, you can look for what is contained in that desktop. So our case, let us move to our CMD so that we can create, maybe copy, move, and delete file. So you can also launch the CMD by right clicking the start button, and then you can learn the CMD. And here we have the command line. So for us to create, maybe we want to create a folder on the desktop, what we need, you can just write the CD. You can use the CD. Maybe we have the desktop, and then we can click enter, and here we are now inside the desktop. So for us to create a folder, we can create the folder maybe Mori. You can use the mk, then directory dhl, and then we can give the folder name, which is the Mori there, and then we can click enter, and there now we have the folder on our desktop which is known as Mori. Here it is. So maybe if we want to go back to the desktop, maybe for example we can try to get to this folder. If you want to get to this folder also, you can just type the CD and then Mori. Remember, this is a folder that we have created, and then you can click enter, and now this command led us to this folder. This command will just lead us to this command, to this maybe folder. If for example we need to create any folder here, we can use maybe type. You can maybe type then we put a space, maybe null, and then we can use the greater sign. You can use the greater sign, and then using this maybe greater sign, we can give the folder name or the file name that we want to have created inside here. Maybe we can call it we call it what? We call it Nesh, and call it Nesh maybe dot. We include our extension, maybe if it is a PowerPoint, PPTX, PTX, and then we can click next. And there, here, if you come now to this folder on our desktop and try to open here, you can see we have already created the Nesh inside this folder, inside that folder. What if now, maybe for example, we want to rename this folder to something, we want to rename this to something else? What we just need, we can just type maybe by rename, we can just type it LN. You can just type it LN, and then we can give it maybe Maurice. We can give it what do. First of all, we want to rename this Nesh dot pt x, and then we can give the name that we want. Maybe we want Maurice maybe dot pptx, and then I can click enter. And if maybe for example I comes back to this folder and then look at this, you realize that my document is now renamed Molly.pptx. What if I want to delete this folder from the, if I want to delete, still I can use, maybe to delete it I can use the del for delete. And what do I want to delete? I want to delete the file name. I can call it, it is now Maurice dot pptx. And there, maybe for example, if I comes to my folder now and double click maybe on this Molly, you realize I don't have any folder inside here. What maybe for example, if I want to maybe to restore my folder, if I comes to my if I want to, let us create another folder inside here. Inside here we create another folder and maybe call it, we call it what? We call it maybe tel maybe dot pp tx tel.tptx. So what's wrong with that? You have not included maybe type space, maybe we can have the null, we can have the null the way we created there on the top, so that we can be able to create. And then we include our sign, which is greater than, and then we can put a space, and then we can click OK. So we can also maybe create another one so that we can try to move it. So now we are in that. So let us go back to the desktop. We can just go to the desktop by clicking CD, and then we can put the two dots, and then we can click enter. And here we are back to the desktop. Let us try to create another folder, which is maybe mk or make dhl, and then we can give it the folder name maybe to be mm or Maurice, and then we can click enter. And if for example you realize that if I comes here now, I have two folder here. Remember, we have created recently this file tel inside this folder, and also we have already created this file which has nothing. So now I'm looking of how we can move this file from here. We can copy it from here to, we can copy from here to here. Let's see how we can copy it, maybe from this folder to this other folder here. So, and for us to use the copy command, so let us see what we need to use the copy command. So we just need to go to that folder. Remember, our document is in this, it is in our first folder, which was Molly. So we can cd, then Molly, and then you can enter. So now we are in this folder, and inside this folder we want to copy this. So what we just need is to say, we just need to type copy, then we can give then the file name, which was tel.pptx, and then we locate the folder destination. We want to take it to and then we can click enter, and then you can see here one file is copied to this. Let us see if we have copied this file to this. Let's see if we have copied. Where is it? Good. So you can see we have made it inside in that. So those are some of the basic needs that you can do using the CMD. To advance, remember, if I want to clear everything from here, I just need to use a command like the clear CLS and then type enter, and there I have everything that was top there cleared. I can also, maybe if I want to go back to, remember, see here is our root directory, is our tree root directory that is originating everything. And if I want to maybe exit it, I can just click on exit. It's a command, and then click, and there my CMD has disappeared. If maybe I want to launch it again, can right click on the start button, and then if there is anything that I've forgotten that I wanted to use in this CMD, if maybe, for example, I want to see the system's information, maybe I can type on help and click enter, and here it will display if there is the task list that I want to see what is running on my task manager. I can also stop by task killing, and all these commands are used to DC inside that. That is how the help works. Maybe, for example, there are many that you will encounter in each and every day as long as you are in this field of the IT. Like maybe a very basic one is maybe like the IP config. We need the IP config to check your network each and every day if it is working fine. You need to be knowing these commands. You need also, maybe every day you will encounter the ping maybe command, as you'll be checking what is wrong with your network. And there are some of the things that you will use every day. If, for example, you want to have the security in your DHCP, that is in your routers, remember you can also use the MAC addresses, and this one, maybe you use the command also to maybe get the MAC address. All these commands will be the basic if you are at all in this field of IT. So that brings us to the end of this session. I was your trainer, Maurice Monene. You have found it helpful. Consider subscribing, like, and share it to many so that they can have the knowledge also. Thank you.